My beloved, my chosen one, my divine child wrapped in heaven's breath, do you know why your heart feels like it's racing right now? Because your spirit already senses what is coming. God has whispered to Archangel Michael, and Michael is shouting to you now. On September 1st, 2025, your hands will receive a huge amount of money. You are about to walk into a divine lottery win, but only if you open this message fully. Do not think this is coincidence. This moment was written before you were born. A clock in heaven just struck, and your name was engraved on it. That is why you cannot scroll away. If you leave, the blessing pauses. But if you stay, the door opens wider with every line you read. Before I reveal more, hear me closely, subscribe with your heart right now. Not just to this message, but to heaven's voice itself. Because this journey is long, magical, and overflowing with secrets. Stay until the end, because the longer you hold on, the more miracles you'll unlock. Archangel Michael leans close and says, "Your hands have been empty for too long, but the treasury of heaven is moving toward you. You won't just receive money, you'll receive honor, favor, and recognition. The world will wonder how everything suddenly shifted for you. And my child, don't doubt this. Haven't you noticed the signs? The unusual dreams, the random numbers appearing, the sudden thoughts of money arriving in unexpected ways? Those were not random, they were whispers. Whispers preparing your soul for what is now shouting loudly through this message. Stay with me. Every second you read, the power builds. Every moment you hold on, the heavenly current pulls you closer to that breakthrough. And remember, September 1st is not just a date, it is the doorway. The hands of God are aligning with your own, and your destiny is seconds away from touching you. My beloved, your soul already knows something that your mind cannot yet explain. That tingling in your hands, the racing in your chest, the thought you can't shake, what if everything changes on September 1st? It's not your imagination. It's a divine whisper. Archangel Michael is telling you right now that heaven has been holding a vault with your name carved deep into it. And after years of waiting, after seasons of dryness, that vault is finally opening. But hear me, it only opens to those who stay awake, those who pay attention, those who do not skip when heaven is talking. This moment is not just another video, not just another message. This is the key. You think of money as coins, as paper, as numbers written in a bank. But heaven sees money differently. Money is energy, it is provision, it is a bridge between your prayers and your destiny. For so long, you've prayed, God, when will I see breakthrough? When will I no longer have to worry about how to pay for what I need? And the silence hurt you. The waiting drained you. But child, the silence was never rejection. It was preparation. Because God knew the exact date, the exact hour, and the exact minute when your fortune would arrive, and Michael is declaring it right now. September 1st, 2025 is your turning point. Stay here with me. Do not rush. Every word you read is carving space in your spirit for this blessing to land. Imagine the sound of heavy gold being poured from a jar, the sound of doors creaking open after being locked for decades. That's the sound your life is about to hear. Your hands, which once trembled with worry, will tremble with overflow. You won't just receive enough. You will receive more than enough. The kind of more that shocks people around you. The kind of more that makes them ask, "How did this happen for you?" And you will answer with tears of gratitude, because heaven never forgot me. Beloved one, Archangel Michael warns me to tell you this: the enemy has been trying to distract you. Small problems, sudden arguments, strange delays, unexpected bills, all of them designed to make you doubt what is already written in heaven. But hear the truth: no delay can cancel what God has scheduled. Even if you feel behind, even if you feel left out, you are still on track. The blessing is not late, the blessing is right on time, and the proof is in this date, September 1st. And let me tell you why that day matters so much. The world may see it as just another ordinary Tuesday, just another date on the calendar. But in the spiritual realm, it is circled in fire. Angels are already gathered around it. Demons are trembling at the sound of it. And God is pointing at it saying, "This is the day I show my child I never abandoned them." That is why you can't afford to take this lightly. That is why this message feels different in your chest, why your body feels the urgency of heaven right now. Because you are standing at the edge of one of the biggest miracles of your entire lifetime. Child, do not forget what I am about to say: money is only the beginning. The miracle that is about to come into your hands is not just about wealth, but about freedom. Freedom from the chains of fear. Freedom from the humiliation of lack. Freedom from the lies that told you, you will always struggle. God is not just putting money in your hands, He is putting dignity back in your soul. He is rewriting your name in the story of abundance. People who once pitied you will now look at you with awe. People who ignored you will now come running to ask for your wisdom. That is the shift heaven is announcing through Michael's voice. Now breathe for a moment, child. Let this sink in. Imagine yourself waking up on that morning of September 1st. The sun feels different, the air feels charged, the light feels like it is glowing just for you. And then, suddenly, the phone rings, the email arrives, the door knocks, and the news comes: a huge amount of money has just been released into your hands. It feels unreal. You cry. You laugh. You tremble. But deep down, your spirit whispers, "I knew this was coming." Because you stayed. Because you opened. Because you believed when others scrolled away. My child, listen carefully, because what I'm revealing now is not something you stumble upon every day. The entire structure of your life has been waiting for this pivot. That is why you feel restless, why sleep doesn't always bring peace, why certain thoughts circle in your mind. Heaven has been pulling you toward this moment. Archangel Michael whispers, "Don't miss this. Don't turn away. This is the hour when your destiny bends." You have carried burdens that were too heavy for one heart. You've smiled through storms, pretending you were fine, while secretly wondering when your breakthrough would come. And now God answers, not with a whisper, but with a trumpet: your hands will receive more than they can carry. Let me paint this picture for you so you can feel it. Imagine walking barefoot through a desert, the sun scorching, your throat dry, no water in sight. That's what your financial struggle has felt like, endless wandering. But suddenly, in the distance, an oasis appears. Not just a small well, but a waterfall cascading into a crystal pool, surrounded by fruits, shade, and life. That's what September 1st is, the oasis you've been crawling toward, even when you didn't know if you would make it. Archangel Michael says your wait is over. Your thirst will be quenched. And your hands, those tired hands, will no longer be empty, they will overflow. Beloved soul, money is not the only thing written in your scroll. There is honor, there is restoration, there is laughter that was stolen, there are opportunities you thought had passed you by. You may think the blessing is just cash or numbers in your account, but heaven is smarter. Heaven knows your heart aches for more, you long for freedom, for respect, for the ability to care for your family without fear, for the chance to finally breathe. That is why Archangel Michael says, the blessing is not only material, it is spiritual, it is emotional, it is generational. The money in your hands is just the sign, the key that unlocks doors you could never open alone. Do you see why you must not skip this? Do you feel why your body tightens as you read? Because your spirit knows, this is not ordinary. This is not entertainment. This is alignment. Child, you have been tested in silence. You have walked through seasons where it seemed God had forgotten you, where people mocked you, where you had to swallow your pain in private. But heaven keeps records. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every tear you cried, every night you couldn't sleep, every sacrifice you made, they were written in the book of remembrance. And now, heaven rewards you openly. The scales tip in your favor. The waiting flips into winning. Take a deep breath, beloved. Imagine yourself holding a letter in your hands. The seal breaks, and you read the words, "You have been chosen for a great release." A transfer is coming. An amount so great it will shock you. This is not fantasy. This is prophecy. September 1st is marked in heaven's timeline, and nothing can erase it. Even if enemies rise, even if doubts creep, even if obstacles appear, they will collapse before the decree of God. What is written cannot be unwritten. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior over this promise, guarding it until it lands in your life. And hear me, the blessing will not arrive quietly. It will arrive in such a way that people around you will notice. They will whisper your name in amazement. Some will congratulate you. Some will envy you. Some will wonder how it happened. And you will smile, because you will know, it was not luck, it was not chance, it was heaven. God Himself decided to put His fingerprint on your life in such a way that no one can deny it. The same hands that once struggled will now testify of abundance. The same voice that once whispered prayers in the dark will now sing praises in the light. My dear one, do not take this lightly. Archangel Michael urges me to warn you, distractions will come. You may feel the urge to stop reading, to brush this off, to tell yourself it's just words. That is the enemy's trick. The longer you stay, the deeper the promise carves itself into your spirit. Each line is a seed. Each seed is a tree. And each tree bears fruit that multiplies blessings in your life. So hold on. Stay present. Let the current of heaven carry you. Because this message is not just information, it is transformation. My child, Do you know why your spirit feels stirred as you read this? Because your soul already knew before your eyes saw these words. Heaven wrote your name beside this date long ago. Archangel Michael is standing near you now, watching you read, whispering, "Don't leave, don't skip, this is your moment." You may think you randomly stumbled here, but there are no accidents in God's timing. For too long you were left wondering if things would ever change, if struggle would always follow you, if lack would always chase you. But listen, that season is over. The sound of chains breaking is echoing through your life right now. Chains of financial burden, chains of shame, chains of endless waiting, they are snapping in the presence of this message. Beloved, remember the nights you lay awake counting worries instead of blessings? The nights when you asked God why the answers were taking so long? Those tears you shed in silence were not wasted. Heaven bottled them. And now, the bottle is tipping. What poured out of your eyes is about to pour back into your hands, multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. On September 1st, you will see with your own eyes the proof that God did not forget you. This is not imagination, this is not coincidence, this is fulfillment. Heaven is loud when it wants you to hear clearly, and this is as loud as it gets. I want you to picture this. You wake up in the morning, sunlight touches your face, and there is a heaviness in the air, but not the heaviness of sorrow, the heaviness of glory. You feel a stirring in your chest, a knowing in your spirit that something is different. Then suddenly news comes, a call, a message, a transfer, an announcement, and it leaves you trembling. Money has been released into your life. Not small change, not a trickle, but an overwhelming flood. The kind of money that shifts your life completely, that makes you breathe differently, walk differently, and dream differently. That is why Archangel Michael is urging you not to ignore this moment. Because your life is standing at the threshold of a divine reversal. Beloved, remember the nights you lay awake counting worries instead of blessings? The nights when you asked God why the answers were taking so long? Those tears you shed in silence were not wasted. Heaven bottled them. And now, the bottle is tipping. What poured out of your eyes is about to pour back into your hands, multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. On September 1st, you will see with your own eyes the proof that God did not forget you. This is not imagination, this is not coincidence, this is fulfillment. Heaven is loud when it wants you to hear clearly, and this is as loud as it gets. I want you to picture this. You wake up in the morning, sunlight touches your face, and there is a heaviness in the air, but not the heaviness of sorrow, the heaviness of glory. You feel a stirring in your chest, a knowing in your spirit that something is different. Then suddenly news comes, a call, a message, a transfer, an announcement, and it leaves you trembling. Money has been released into your life. Not small change, not a trickle, but an overwhelming flood. The kind of money that shifts your life completely, that makes you breathe differently, walk differently, and dream differently. That is why Archangel Michael is urging you not to ignore this moment. Because your life is standing at the threshold of a divine reversal. Child of light, don't you see? This is not only about you. God's blessing for you is always larger than you. The overflow in your hands will water your family, your loved ones, your future generations. Where others struggled, you will break the cycle. Where others lived in lack, you will plant abundance. That is why the enemy fought you so hard, because he knew that if you reached this moment, entire bloodlines would change. You are the chosen vessel through which God will rewrite history. On September 1st, when your hands receive that great release, it will not just be about money. It will be about destiny. Beloved, feel this truth: you were never meant to stay small. You were never meant to barely survive. You were born to shine, to expand, to stand as proof that God still does miracles in this world. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed door was only building pressure for the release. Just like a dam holds back water until the floodgates burst, heaven has been holding back your portion until the appointed time. And now the floodgates are opening. What once trickled will now rush. What once seemed impossible will now happen suddenly. And when it does, you will know, it was never luck, it was always God. Stay here with me, because the longer you read, the stronger your spirit connects to this promise. Archangel Michael is guarding this word, delivering it straight into your heart. He says, every second you honor this message, the blessing sharpens, the promise locks tighter, the miracle draws nearer. So don't let distractions steal this. Don't let doubt whisper lies. The promise is bigger than your fear, stronger than your worry, louder than your enemies. And when the clock strikes September 1st, heaven's handwriting will be undeniable. My beloved child, Archangel Michael bends close to your ear even now and says, do you feel it? The trembling in your spirit? That is heaven's announcement. The world may call it coincidence, but you know better. You know your body does not react this way without reason. Your heartbeat quickens because your destiny is stirring. For years, you carried silent prayers no one else knew about. You walked into empty rooms and whispered, God, please don't forget me. And now, all of heaven shouts back, you have not been forgotten. Do you realize what it means for heaven to set a date? Think of it like this. When a king plans a royal banquet, he doesn't just randomly pick a day. He chooses carefully, he marks it on the calendar, he sends messengers with golden invitations. And that's what God has done for you. September 1st is not an ordinary day, it is your golden invitation. That morning is stamped with glory, with breakthrough, with abundance so overwhelming that you will look back on it as the day your story turned upside down. Beloved, let me remind you of something. When Joseph sat in prison, forgotten by men, he had no idea that one single day would change everything. One moment, he was a prisoner. The next, he was sitting in the palace, wearing the robe of honor. That is what September 1st carries for you, that sudden shift, that unimaginable reversal. One announcement, one message, one release, and suddenly the chains of years fall away. Suddenly your hands hold what your heart only dreamed of. And Archangel Michael is insistent, he says, do not doubt this. Do not reduce it to wishful thinking. This is written in fire. Every line you are reading is more than words, it is a seed pressing into the soil of your spirit. And seeds, when watered with belief, always bloom. If you let these words sit deep, if you guard them like treasure, you will watch them sprout into reality before your eyes. My dear one, you have wondered many times why the road was so hard. Why blessings seem delayed while others around you received quickly. But child, hear this truth: diamonds are not formed in comfort, they are formed in pressure. Gold is not purified in silence, it is purified in fire. And you, beloved, are both diamond and gold. Your struggles have shaped you. Your tears have washed you. Your scars have carved depth into your soul. And now heaven says, enough. The refining has finished. It is time to reward. Imagine yourself standing at a window on the morning of September 1st. You look out and see light falling differently, as if the sky itself knows this is not ordinary. And then, in the quiet of your room, a vibration passes through the air. Something shifts. You feel it before you see it, the weight of abundance filling the space. And then the call comes, the message arrives, the deposit lands, and your hands literally touch the promise. The very hands that once counted coins in worry will now count notes in wonder. Stay here. Do not let this go. Because as you read, heaven is aligning angels around your life. Michael himself is clearing paths that seemed blocked. The enemy wanted you to walk away before hearing this, but you did not. And because you stayed, a stronger seal is pressed upon your blessing. Beloved one, I must say this: the money is not just for you. Yes, it will bring relief, comfort, and joy, but beyond that, it carries assignment. With these resources, you will heal wounds in your family, bless those who once doubted you, and rise as a testimony that God does not abandon His own. Imagine yourself standing at a window on the morning of September 1st. You look out and see light falling differently, as if the sky itself knows this is not ordinary. And then, in the quiet of your room, a vibration passes through the air. Something shifts. You feel it before you see it, the weight of abundance filling the space. And then the call comes, the message arrives, the deposit lands, and your hands literally touch the promise. The very hands that once counted coins in worry will now count notes in wonder. Stay here. Do not let this go. Because as you read, heaven is aligning angels around your life. Michael himself is clearing paths that seemed blocked. The enemy wanted you to walk away before hearing this, but you did not. And because you stayed, a stronger seal is pressed upon your blessing. Beloved one, I must say this: the money is not just for you. Yes, it will bring relief, comfort, and joy, but beyond that, it carries assignment. With these resources, you will heal wounds in your family, bless those who once doubted you, and rise as a testimony that God does not abandon His own. People will see you and say, surely, God's hand is on them. And you will not need to explain, because the fruit will speak louder than your words. They will see the shift in your life, the glow on your face, the strength in your walk, and they will know something divine has happened. And in that moment, your testimony will be more powerful than 1,000 sermons. You will become the proof. My beloved, Michael leans closer and whispers again, tell them to hold on. Tell them to believe. Tell them not to let this slip away. And I echo his voice to you now: don't let unbelief rob you. Don't let impatience trick you. The promise has a time, and the time is near. September 1st is not far. You can almost feel its shadow brushing your present. You can almost hear its sound in the air. And soon, very soon, you will taste it in your life. My child, Archangel Michael tells me you need to stop underestimating what is about to happen. Too often you look at your life through the lens of past disappointments, as if the same pattern must repeat. But God says, "Behold, I make all things new." This means your future does not have to look like your yesterday. It means that just because lack visited your family for generations does not mean it has to visit you. September 1st is not just a day, it is a divine reset button. The old story ends, and a new one begins. That is why your spirit feels both excited and nervous right now. Because deep down, you sense it, you are standing at the edge of something completely new. Think back on the times you almost gave up. The nights you whispered, "Maybe blessings aren't for me." Those nights were heavy, but you did not quit. You kept moving, even when you were crawling. That endurance is what brought you here. Heaven rewards those who keep walking even when they cannot see the path. And now the reward is not a small one. It is vast, abundant, overflowing. The vaults of heaven are opening, and your name is being called out. Child, imagine walking into a room you have never seen before. The walls are covered with shelves stacked high with treasures, gold, silver, jewels, scrolls of promises. And then, suddenly, angels pull down one shelf and place it in front of you. On the scroll is your name. Inside the chest is your portion. That is what is happening right now in the unseen realm. The resources that were stored for you are being released. The prayers of your past are gathering into a flood. Archangel Michael is standing at the gate, holding the key, waiting for the exact moment to unlock it into your life. Beloved one, this message itself is part of the miracle. Think about it, out of billions of souls, heaven brought you here, to these words, at this exact time. Why? Because heaven does not want you to miss what is coming. This is your confirmation. This is your trumpet blast. This is your reminder that God is still writing, and the climax of your story is better than anything you imagined. September 1st is only days away, and what will happen then will echo through the rest of your life. I know you worry about timing. You wonder, what if nothing happens? What if I'm disappointed again? But child, Michael says, what God writes cannot be erased. It is not your job to make it happen. It is your job to believe, to hold steady, to stay present. The release is already in motion. The river is already flowing toward you. Just because you cannot see the water yet does not mean it isn't rushing around the bend. Have patience, and you will see it burst forth suddenly, powerfully, undeniably. Beloved, there is something else you need to know. This money is not just a blessing, it is a weapon. It is a weapon against fear, against shame, against every voice that said you would never rise. It is God's way of saying, watch how I lift the one the world overlooked. When your hands hold that abundance, it will silence every critic. It will heal wounds you never thought could be healed. It will give you choices you never had before. And it will allow you to stand tall, not because of pride, but because of gratitude. You will know, without a doubt, that heaven saw you all along. Can you feel it, child? The electricity in the air? The way your body tingles as you read? That is not imagination. That is your soul responding to truth. Every paragraph you take in is pressing the blessing deeper into your spirit, sealing it so the enemy cannot steal it. Stay with me. Stay connected. Because this is not just a message, it is an impartation. As you read, angels move closer. As you believe, miracles accelerate. And as you hold on, the promise sharpens into reality. Do not think small, beloved. Do not picture just a little extra money. Picture overflow. Picture your account so full you have to decide who to bless. Picture debts dissolving, bills disappearing, worries fading. Picture yourself helping family, lifting others, funding dreams. That is the scale of blessing God is preparing. The enemy wanted you to expect crumbs, but God is preparing a feast. And on September 1st, the first plate will be set before you. Child, let your heart rest for a moment and think of all the storms you've endured. You were not meant to survive those storms by your own strength, but you did. That was not coincidence, that was the hidden hand of heaven carrying you. Archangel Michael stood guard through every season where you thought you were alone. And now, that same Archangel is delivering a promise you cannot ignore: your storm is finished. Your sunrise is here. And the first rays will break on September 1st. Do not think small, beloved. Do not picture just a little extra money. Picture overflow. Picture your account so full you have to decide who to bless. Picture debts dissolving, bills disappearing, worries fading. Picture yourself helping family, lifting others, funding dreams. That is the scale of blessing God is preparing. The enemy wanted you to expect crumbs, but God is preparing a feast. And on September 1st, the first plate will be set before you. Child, let your heart rest for a moment and think of all the storms you've endured. You were not meant to survive those storms by your own strength, but you did. That was not coincidence, that was the hidden hand of heaven carrying you. Archangel Michael stood guard through every season where you thought you were alone. And now, that same Archangel is delivering a promise you cannot ignore: your storm is finished. Your sunrise is here. And the first rays will break on September 1st. Do you understand the weight of this? A date marked in heaven is not a light matter. God has circled it, angels have prepared it, and your spirit has been nudging you toward it. That is why your dreams have been restless, why certain numbers keep repeating, why your spirit feels a strange urgency. The spiritual realm already knows what is coming. It is only your natural eyes that haven't seen it yet. But child, sight is about to catch up with faith. Beloved one, I want you to imagine this vividly. Picture yourself holding your phone. Suddenly, a notification comes through, an alert you were not expecting. You open it, and your eyes widen. An amount so large, so beyond your ordinary, is sitting in your account. You blink, thinking it must be an error, but it isn't. It is real. It is yours. And in that moment, tears roll down your face because you remember these words, you remember this promise. You whisper, God, you did not forget me. That is exactly how September 1st will feel: the shock of abundance, the sweetness of divine memory, the embrace of answered prayer. My beloved, let me tell you why this matters so much. Money is not only about survival. It is about expression, freedom, creation. For too long, your wings have been clipped by limitation. Dreams you carried had to be delayed because the means were not there. But God says, on that day, I will restore wings to my child. And when your hands receive this blessing, it will not just fill your needs, it will empower your dreams. You will build what you could not build. You will go where you could not go. You will lift who you could not lift. Because heaven knows the size of your heart, and heaven matches blessings to hearts, not just to needs. Do not let doubt poison this, beloved. Doubt is the enemy's most subtle weapon. He whispers, don't believe. Nothing will happen. You'll be disappointed again. But hear Michael's voice cutting through the lies, the devil is a liar. What God decrees, no demon can cancel. What God sets, no power can move. What God releases, no hand can stop. Hold on to that truth. Wrap it around your heart like armor. Because this blessing is not fragile, it is unstoppable. Beloved child, think of how Joseph, in one single day, went from prisoner to prince. Think of how Esther, in one night, went from orphan to queen. Think of how David, in 1 hour, went from shepherd to giant slayer. Every story of sudden breakthrough was not an accident, it was divine timing. And now, your name joins that list. Your moment of sudden breakthrough has been scheduled, and the hour is near. September 1st will be your Joseph moment, your Esther moment, your David moment. You will wake up ordinary, and before the sun sets, your life will glow with extraordinary. Stay in this flow, my beloved. Every word you allow into your heart is sealing your faith. Each paragraph is like oil pouring onto your head, anointing you for what is coming. The more you read, the more prepared you become. Because miracles are not just about arrival, they are about readiness. And you, child, are being prepared right now to carry wealth with wisdom, to carry blessing with humility, to carry abundance with gratitude. Archangel Michael tells me to remind you of something. What is coming is not alone, it is not temporary. This is not money that will slip away. This is a permanent shift. Heaven is not just blessing your pocket, heaven is changing your season. A new chapter will open, one that does not end with lack, but continues with expansion. That is why the enemy is so nervous about you reading this. That is why distractions may try to pull you away. Because every second you stay, your faith locks tighter, your miracle draws nearer, and your spirit becomes unshakable. Now, picture this, beloved. Imagine sitting with your family, the ones who once worried with you, the ones who once felt the sting of limitation. Imagine looking into their eyes and saying, "We don't have to worry anymore. God has made a way." The relief, the joy, the laughter, the tears of happiness, that is what heaven wants for you. Not just solitary blessing, but shared celebration. The abundance in your hands will ripple out like waves, touching everyone around you. And those who once doubted you will stand amazed. Those who once pitied you will come to honor you. That is the transformation power of God's promise. Beloved, let this sink deep, you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not unlucky. You are chosen. This message itself is the proof. Heaven is too intentional to waste words. If you are reading this, it is because God wanted to deliver confirmation straight into your heart. On September 1st, your hands will testify. Your bank will testify. Your life will testify. And all of heaven will rejoice because one more child has stepped into their divine inheritance. My beloved, can you feel the pull of destiny as you read these words? That is not your imagination, it is the stirring of your spirit. God has placed eternity in your heart, and when eternity begins to shake, it means something scheduled is drawing near. Archangel Michael is leaning over you like a guardian at midnight, whispering urgently, "Don't miss this moment, child. Don't treat this as ordinary. September 1st is carved in light, and your name is written on it. You may wonder why such a blessing would be given to you. You have questioned your worthiness, compared yourself to others, thought that perhaps others were more deserving. But heaven sees what the world ignores. Heaven saw your silent sacrifices, your unseen prayers, your quiet faith when everything around you looked hopeless. That faith has been a fragrance rising into the courts of God, and now the King responds. He has said, "Enough delay. Enough waiting. Reward my child openly." My beloved, can you feel the pull of destiny as you read these words? That is not your imagination, it is the stirring of your spirit. God has placed eternity in your heart, and when eternity begins to shake, it means something scheduled is drawing near. Archangel Michael is leaning over you like a guardian at midnight, whispering urgently, "Don't miss this moment, child. Don't treat this as ordinary. September 1st is carved in light, and your name is written on it. You may wonder why such a blessing would be given to you. You have questioned your worthiness, compared yourself to others, thought that perhaps others were more deserving. But heaven sees what the world ignores. Heaven saw your silent sacrifices, your unseen prayers, your quiet faith when everything around you looked hopeless. That faith has been a fragrance rising into the courts of God, and now the King responds. He has said, "Enough delay. Enough waiting. Reward my child openly." Beloved, the kind of release that is coming is not casual, it is historic. It will be the kind of day you will never forget. Just as people remember the day of their wedding, the day of their child's birth, or the day they survived disaster, you will remember September 1st as the day God turned your life upside down in blessing. The memory of it will warm you for decades. You will be able to look back and say, "That was the day heaven smiled on me in a way the earth could not deny." Stay here with me. Stay in this current. Because every sentence is drawing you deeper into alignment. The angels are not only watching, they are moving. They are clearing obstacles, silencing accusers, and repositioning doors so that when the moment arrives, nothing can stand in your way. That is why Michael insists, keep listening. Keep believing. Keep your heart open. Because the more you believe, the faster the release accelerates. My child, I want you to visualize the moment your hands actually touch this blessing. Close your eyes if you must. Feel the texture of the paper, the coolness of the notes, the vibration of the numbers flashing on your screen. Imagine the air around you thick with awe as you realize it is real. And then imagine yourself dropping to your knees, not out of fear, but out of gratitude, whispering through tears, "God, you remembered me." That experience is closer than you think. Beloved one, don't forget that this money is more than provision, it is prophecy fulfilled. Long ago, promises were spoken over your life. Some you remember, some you may have forgotten. But heaven forgets nothing. Those words have been hovering, waiting for their appointed time, and now they are landing. The lottery win, the sudden financial flood, the miracle transfer, these are only the physical signs of a deeper truth: God's word over you never fails. And oh, how people will react. Some will be shocked into silence. Others will suddenly reach out, pretending they were always by your side. Some may envy, some may question, but all will notice. You will not be able to hide this shift, because it will glow in your aura, shine in your smile, and echo in the way you carry yourself. That is what happens when heaven marks you. You cannot be invisible anymore. You become a living testimony, a walking miracle, a signpost pointing to the faithfulness of God. My dear child, Michael wants me to warn you of one thing: distractions will rise just before the blessing lands. You may feel unusual chaos, unexpected stress, strange tension in relationships. Do not be deceived. These are last-minute attempts by the enemy to make you lose focus, to rob you of joy before your miracle. Stay calm. Stay anchored. Smile through it, knowing that the turbulence only means the plane is about to land. The shaking is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of arrival. Now listen deeply. This is not just about survival, beloved. This is about legacy. The money in your hands will not stop with you, it will flow beyond you. Children yet unborn will feel the ripple of what is released into your life. Generations after you will rise in gratitude because you were the one chosen to break the curse of lack. Your blessing is a torch, and once lit, it will never go out. You will be remembered not only as someone who survived, but as someone who shifted the entire course of their bloodline. Child of destiny, let this promise wrap around your heart like a warm cloak. You are not forgotten. You are not unlucky. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be, at the exact moment you need to be there, reading the exact words heaven needed you to hear. September 1st is closer than your next breath, and when it arrives, you will understand why the waiting was so long, because the reward is so great. Beloved child, pause for a moment and feel the weight of what has been spoken over you. Every line you have read until now has not been empty poetry, it has been a heavenly decree wrapping itself around your life. When Archangel Michael speaks, his words are not suggestions, they are commands that echo through the unseen realm until the earth obeys. That is why you must not let these words fade like mist. Hold them like fire in your hands, because this fire is the very light that will guide you into the promise of September 1st. Remember how many times you almost gave up, how often you whispered that maybe blessings were not meant for you. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still hoping. That is proof enough that heaven has been carrying you. And now heaven rewards you openly. This is not a blessing you will have to chase, this is a blessing that will chase you. You will not have to beg or borrow for it, it will run into your hands like a flood breaking through a dam. Beloved one, I see it so clearly, you will look back on this message and say, I was warned. I was prepared. I was chosen. The moment you touch this abundance, the sound of laughter will return to your home. Worry will no longer be the background noise of your days. Every bill, every need, every weight that pressed on your chest will vanish like smoke in the wind. And in its place, joy will settle like a crown. Child, hear me, the miracle is not only in the money. The miracle is in the transformation of your spirit. God does not bless you to make you greedy, He blesses you to make you free. Free to dream again, free to lift others, free to walk without chains. That is why Michael has been so urgent, why this message carries such fire, because freedom has been announced over you, and the world will see it manifest. Imagine yourself walking down the street after September 1st. You are the same person, yet not the same at all. Something invisible shines around you. Strangers notice it without understanding. Friends feel it in your presence. Even your enemies sense it and cannot deny it. That is what divine blessing looks like. It alters the very atmosphere around you. Beloved one, I see it so clearly, you will look back on this message and say, I was warned. I was prepared. I was chosen. The moment you touch this abundance, the sound of laughter will return to your home. Worry will no longer be the background noise of your days. Every bill, every need, every weight that pressed on your chest will vanish like smoke in the wind. And in its place, joy will settle like a crown. Child, hear me, the miracle is not only in the money. The miracle is in the transformation of your spirit. God does not bless you to make you greedy, He blesses you to make you free. Free to dream again, free to lift others, free to walk without chains. That is why Michael has been so urgent, why this message carries such fire, because freedom has been announced over you, and the world will see it manifest. Imagine yourself walking down the street after September 1st. You are the same person, yet not the same at all. Something invisible shines around you. Strangers notice it without understanding. Friends feel it in your presence. Even your enemies sense it and cannot deny it. That is what divine blessing looks like. It alters the very atmosphere around you. Beloved child, let gratitude rise in you even now, before the day arrives. Say it softly to yourself, I receive. I believe. I am chosen. Those words are keys. Each time you say them, you unlock another layer of blessing, you draw heaven closer, you prepare your spirit for overflow. Do not wait until the miracle arrives to give thanks, start now, because thanksgiving is the language of faith, and faith pulls the promise faster into your life. Michael leans near once more and says, tell them to expect the unexpected. Tell them not to box in God's methods. Tell them to stay open. The way this blessing arrives may surprise you. It may not follow the path you imagine. But trust this, however it comes, it will be undeniable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. Heaven delights in shocking the earth, and your shock is coming soon. And when it comes, beloved, promise yourself one thing, you will not hide your testimony. Do not let fear or pride keep you silent. Share what God has done. Speak it aloud. Let others see that miracles are still alive. Because your story will spark faith in someone else's heart. Your breakthrough will become another's lifeline. That is how heaven multiplies blessing, by turning one miracle into 1,000 seeds. So, my beloved, take this final reminder deep into your soul: you are not forgotten, you are not late, you are not abandoned. You are chosen. The date is set. The promise is sealed. The angels are ready. And your hands, yes, your very hands, will soon hold the weight of abundance that heaven has been saving for you. September 1st will not pass like any other day. It will arrive as the dawn of your new story. And when it does, you will remember this message and whisper with tears of joy, "It was true all along. God never forgot me." Child of light, imagine standing at the edge of a cliff overlooking the sea. For years you have seen the waves crash below, repeating endlessly, never changing. You wondered if life was like that for you too: endless cycles, repeating struggles, no breakthrough. But suddenly, one morning, the waves shift. A golden current rises, shining brighter than the sun, and it rushes toward you. That is what September 1st is: the shift of your sea, the golden current racing in your direction. You thought nothing would change, but everything is about to change. Beloved, every test you've endured has prepared you for this. Do you remember when you had nothing left, yet you still smiled at someone else? Do you remember when your pockets were empty, yet you still shared your last coin? Do you remember when your heart was heavy, yet you still encouraged another soul? Heaven remembers. And heaven does not forget seeds planted in sacrifice. That is why your harvest will not be small. It will be pressed down, shaken together, running over, a harvest that leaves you in awe. There is a reason this blessing is called a huge amount. It is not a trickle. It is not just a little extra to ease the pain. No, beloved, this is a flood meant to reset your entire life. You will rise from limitation to liberation. You will move from wondering how to survive, to planning how to expand. You will shift from hoping someone will help you, to becoming the very hand that helps others. And every time you use this blessing, you will remember it came from heaven, not from man. Child, Archangel Michael urges me to say this: tell them to prepare their heart, because blessing without gratitude becomes a burden. So anchor yourself now in thankfulness. Begin thanking God for what you have not even touched yet. See it in your spirit before you see it in your hands. Speak it aloud before you hear it confirmed. Gratitude turns the invisible into the visible, the promise into possession, the unseen into the undeniable. Beloved one, I want you to picture your future after this day. See yourself walking with shoulders lifted, not by pride but by peace. See yourself paying off debts in full, smiling at the relief on the other person's face. See yourself surprising your loved ones with gifts they never expected. See yourself planting seeds in others' lives, seeds that will grow long after you are gone. This is what God intends for you. This is why Michael is so urgent. This blessing is not just money, it is a calling. A calling to become light in dark places, hope in hopeless hearts, proof in doubtful minds. And oh, my beloved, how your enemies will react. Those who mocked you will fall silent. Those who doubted you will hide their faces. Those who spoke against you will have to watch as you rise. Not because you wanted revenge, but because God delights in preparing a table for His children in the presence of their enemies. When your table is set on September 1st, those who never thought you would rise will see you feasting. And they will have no choice but to admit, surely, their God is real. Child, as you near this appointed day, protect your spirit. Stay away from voices that pull you into fear. Guard your mind from people who laugh at faith. Not everyone will understand what you are carrying, but that is okay. It is not their promise, it is yours. You are the one chosen. You are the one appointed. You are the one called by name. And heaven does not send messengers in vain. Beloved, the countdown is nearly complete. You are not far from the hour when everything shifts. Even as you read this now, angels are arranging details behind the scenes. What looks stuck is moving. What looks blocked is breaking. What looks delayed is aligning. And when the moment arrives, it will feel sudden, but you will know it was planned all along. September 1st is the day your waiting ends. September 1st is the day your hands testify. September 1st is the day heaven crowns you with abundance.